Hello everyone. Welcome back to the stream. We're here on Assetto Corsa once again at Kyalami for the final round of our Mazda Multiclass Series. It's been an interesting series, it's been a fun series with its ups and downs. But all comes down to this one final round. A 90-minute special compared to the 60-minute races we've had so far. We still have that one additional lap at the end of the race. At least that not be forgotten. Yeah, a little bit of a smaller grid, unfortunately, for this weekend. We're expecting 21 people. We only have 17 at the moment, so maybe a couple of people just running late. But yeah, we are about to get into qualifying very shortly, in just a minute and a half now. Let's switch on over. Welcome. This is the final round here. 6 laps is going to be 11 liters. We'll go 11 just to be safe. Yeah, it's been an up and down season. Of course, we had that win at Autopolis earlier in the season. We also had a bit of a disappointing week last week. I mean, that's really down to my own mistakes, it should be said. But yeah, quite a few people struggled last week. Final round, as I said, unfortunately a little short in numbers. Only 7 of the Formula Mazdas here. And 11 MX5 Cups. So yeah, we've had an 18th join, as I said, maybe just a couple of people running late. Thank you, Eddie. We are about to start qualifying in 10 seconds. Hopefully we can have good qualifying performance. Of course, 9-minute race does mean different strategies could be at play come the race. Thomas just beat us out. Part of me's tempted to just dive bomb him. Had to go. Tom's not too slow, so he shouldn't hold us up too much, and we shouldn't have to open up too much of a gap. Oh, he's had a slow run there though, so we will get in front. And yeah, Kyalami, one of the longer circuits we have on the calendar. So we're not going to get many laps in, as I said, only 6 laps. We could maybe go 2 and 2. Or, 2 stints. But it's unlikely we'd get 2 3-lap stints in. It'd probably be 1 2-lap, 1 3-lap. Which would then be 3 flying laps. Whereas I think just having 5 flying laps in a row is the better way to go. Pavo has come out of the pits just in front of us. I mean, surely he won't be slow, so, that should be fine. Welcome, Geeky. joining us just on our first flying lap of qualifying. These S's, not quite flat out, at least not with the setup I've got. Maybe if the car was a little better set up, you know, if I was better at making setups, that is, it would maybe be flat out, but not yet. It may be flat out in the race though, while the track grips up. Of course, as I said, a little short on numbers. So, you know, track's not going to grip up too quickly, but of course we do have the longer race. So we should see good grip at the end of the race still. I'm doing alright, Kiki. It's been an alright week. First qualifying lap, 152.2. That's a good time. That's faster than any of the times we've seen in practice. But of course, a lighter fuel load does help in that regard. Still yet to see what pace Pivot's going to have in front of us. Been a good opening sector so far, a couple of tenths up. Four tenths up now out of the S's. Car got a little unstable there under braking for the hairpin. Ran it in deep. Carried a little more speed on the exit though, so hopefully we'll claw back to that 4/10 advantage. But I do feel like we left a little bit of time on the table there. Maybe a couple of hundredths left in that right-hand hairpin. Maybe a little early on the brakes. A snap of oversteer through the final corner compromises our exit. It'll only be a quarter of a second quicker. Yeah, and, you know, we would have been right on the pace with Pivot there if we kept that lap together, but instead we're a little bit off. Pivot's returning to the pits. Running a bit wide there. It's not invalidating the lap, but have lost a bit of time. So it means we're unlikely to improve for the rest of this lap. A little bit more time there in the S's, just by being a little bit braver. That's a per hairpin. Rear end just sliding about. Want to try and make sure we get a good exit here. Carry as much speed as possible onto starting our next lap, because it's a fair run from the start-finish line. towards T1. Just a bit of rear locking. Yeah, this lap doesn't seem like it's really going to come to anything. If we went back to the pits now, though, we wouldn't get another lap in. So we might as well continue. Though it seems unlikely that we'll be able to take pole position here. So a couple of little mistakes towards the end of our fastest lap, just holding us back. Such a fine balance between having the car just understeer and having the rear end just snap out. We start our final flying lap then, one last attempt. Snapping out biz, trying to put the power down out of T2 technically. Rear end sliding through left-hander for turn 4. Oh, a little too early on the throttle. Good exit though from the left-hander there towards the S's. Rear end trying to slide around through the S's. Oh, we find some time there. This is... Pole position is on the cards. We're a quarter of a second up. We know there's time in these final few corners. There we are, good final corner there. It's going to be 4.5 tenths quicker, and it will be pole position. By a nice little margin, by 3 tenths. And looks like we've had another Formula Mazda in, so we're up to 20 people. Yes, we have had a few late joiners, which it's good to see people are joining. We were expecting 21, so we're only missing one person now. Didn't look like you fight the car that much. I mean, yeah, that is a tidy lap. Like, you have to be so careful. It's so easy to unsettle the car. I think one of the things I want to look at is brake bias. Do I want to try 53%? Sure. Yeah. Maybe I will. Yeah, let's try 53%. I'm going to let you in on our strategy now. We're going to This race is going to require 85 litres of fuel, I've calculated. That's for 50 laps. Theoretically, this race, it'll likely be 50 laps, more likely 49 than 51. That is including the extra lap at the end of the 90 minutes. So how I'm going to split this up is we are going to take tyres this race, but we're going to fill the tank when we change tyres in the pit stop, because the tyre change still takes longer than a full fuel fill of 51 litres. So go a little bit lighter at the start. We're at the front. Hopefully we can get a good start. Hopefully, you know, we can start pulling a little bit of a gap. And then a little over, let's say about, what, 2/5 of the way through the race? About 40%. Go come in for a pit stop, put new tyres on, full tank of fuel, and we will run to the end. So that's our strategy, a little bit different. I don't feel like anyone else is going to go for that strategy. So yeah, I don't know how well it's going to work. That we will just have to wait and see. We do have the MX5 qualifying. 11 MX5s in now. Let's go and Sean McArdle, who's 2/10 off provisional pole, currently held by Dave Tweets with a 2-minute 3.3. I see there's about 11-12 seconds between the two classes this week. Enemy, they bumps themselves up to P4. Then towards the right hand penultimate, well, not penultimate corner, the hairpin. Oh, as Andy Hearn puts in a purple sector. So does Adami leg, maybe a little bit wide for Sean. Up to the line now, it is P5. Andy Hearn then, currently nearly 3/10 up on the pole time, has lost a 10th, or nearly a 10th, in the middle sector. Adamide also improving. Replenis, a little further back, is also not too far off. So let's see, has Andy Hearn been able to hold on to those 2/10ths? Adamide's aborted this lap, it seems like. Cross line, it will be provisional pole then, and it's Replenis who's going to be next quick driver across line. Adamide a bit slow after the middle sector. Let's see, Replenis goes up to P3. So Sean McArdle improving. Oh, more times coming. Dave Tweets 3/10 up on Andy Hearn's time. Oh, Sean McArdle not improving anymore. Let's head back to Dave Tweets, ooh, who's a bit wider through the left-hander of turn 6, I believe that is. Now coming towards the S's. It's like a little bit messy. Maybe he didn't carry as much momentum as they could have out of that little sequence. Andy Hearn, Replenis also going quick. Not as quick as Dave at the moment. but quick enough to take provisional pole. Ash Hill as well, going quick. Track, of course, slowly improving as well. Will be helping the times later on in the session. Andy Hearn has lost time in the middle sector, so has Dave Tweets. Let's go a little further back. Raplanis has also lost time. So, Amila is a little bit further back. Let's go to Ash Hill, who's coming up to the hairpin. 10th up after the first sector on Andy Hearn's pole time. What will it be after the middle sector? Again, another driver that's really struggled and lost a lot of time in the middle sector. The drivers are all going to get one more flying lap, though. Let's go back to Adam Ely. Adam also losing about half a second in the middle sector. Coming up to the final corner then, can Adam Ely get onto one of the first two rows when it comes to the MX5s? Come up to the line, a little bit of a slipstream, will slot into P4. We go back to Andy Hearn, who's just lost it coming out of the left-hander. We've seen Dave running a little bit wide there a lap or so ago. And now, Andy Hearn is in the wall, and that is his qualifying session done. He's still on provisional pole. We don't have any purple sectors coming behind, but we do have personal bests. But it's all about this middle sector now. Everyone struggled with this middle sector last lap around. Can they get a clean sector this time? Ash Hill not improving in the first sector, but the time isn't far off. Stevie Bean going purple, so is Adam Ely. We'll swap to them a little bit later. Dave Tweets through the middle sector is 2/10 up on Andy Hearn's time. He just needs to complete this lap, keep it clean, a little bit of a slide through the hairpin. Let's go on board with Dave Tweets towards the final corner. Oh, fighting the car a little bit opposite lock, delaying the throttle a little bit. Is it enough for provisional pole? It is just about a sub 2 minute 3 by literally 1,000th of a second. Stevie Bean losing a little bit of time in the middle sector, but is still on a personal best. Can Stevie get himself onto the front row? Oh, it looks a little bit wide, a little bit deep into that hairpin. Might have compromised their exit a little bit. Using a lot of the curb at what do you call it? Cheetah. Coming up on Ben Mine. Maybe that's distracted Stevie, trying to get aggressive with the throttle. Lights the rear wheels up, and in the end, it will be P4. Still a respectful P4 for him. Adam Ely will take a P6 in the class. So, that was our MX5 qualifying. That was quite good, quite an interesting qualifying session. We now have 9 Formula Mazda runners and 11 MX5s. So, looks like it might be a 2-horse race here at the front of the field. Jacob took P3 ahead of Tom. And then quite a big gap to the cars behind. They're fairly close to one another. That little gap, Sean, Benji and Diana, all quite close together, but quite far off the front of the field. Let's just double check the setup. Fuel, 34 litres. Aero. Brakes. Suspension. Tyres and fuel for our pit strategy. That is all good. Let's set back to our thing. Our proper overlay. Our HUD for the race. We are on the inside. This grid, a little bit compacted, I must say. There's a lot of space from one side of the grid to the other. But not a lot of space between each rows. It looks like it's less than a car length. And these Formula Mazdas aren't very long, so it's, yeah, very close between each field. So, you know, if someone has a bit of a poor start, you know, yes, you have space to the side of you to certainly move, but, you know, you're going to have to move quick into that space. Because, yeah, if you don't get across the track quick enough, you will very quickly find the back of the car in front of you. Lights about to come on now for our final race. It was very even initial phase of the start as they're going 4 wide behind us, but Pavot's had a slightly better second phase of the start as we head towards turn 2. I was a little bit too cautious on the brakes, and as such Pavot's go around our outside. But Pavot's a bit wide through turn 4. We're in the slipstream. Oh, Pavot's just understeered a little bit. And we've taken the lead back. Tom has taken P3. Of course, we'll have to get used to the brake bias adjustment we made between qualifying and the race here. It looks like everyone is sort of cleanly through. Car is feeling a little bit more stable, so it is. Rear isn't kicking out as much, certainly under braking and under downshifts. That means we end the first lap with a gap of 9/10 to Pavot behind, who's coming under a little bit of pressure from Tom, so he is. Little bit of a slide there from the rear end. Remember, we are going for that tire change strategy, so we want to pull out as much of a gap now as we possibly can. Because if people behind us aren't changing tires, like Pavot, we will have to hunt him down. A little bit of a messy hairpin. I think I snatched the front right tyre there in the braking zone, which I'd rather do than lock the rear tyre. We did run a little bit wide through the corner there though. Oh, that's a bad braking zone. Didn't get the downshifts I wanted. Still quicker than Peugeot behind. 7/10 quicker, more than a second quicker than anyone else it looks like. Rear end sliding a little bit there through turn 4. Also, I don't know when we're going to catch the MX5s relative to our pit stop. That was better. Just over half a second gained on Peugeot that lap. We're sliding coming out of the hairpin there. One, keep an eye on that front left tyre, because it's looking a bit overpressured at the moment. So I might should, if it is genuinely like 1 psi overpressured, I should probably bring it down a click for next stints again. Not getting the downshifts I wanted into the final corner now. Still gaining time on the cars behind. That's what matters. That's a bad line. Way too much curb. Yeah, and see that lost us by half a second. Well, 6/10 according to our delta. Peugeot certainly is closed up. That's this time. I can't really afford to be losing. And hopefully this tire pressure adjustment will help just get a little bit more heat into the front left, prevent it from graining as much. Although personal best, still half a second off our fastest lap. So we're definitely going to catch the MX5s before our first pit stop. Remember, we're going to about lap 20. A little bit of understeer there. Those picking up the pace a little bit. There's our first MX5s. And surprisingly, it looks like the first one will be Dave Tweets. One of them have hit it. You can see on the mini-map the number 20 dot just heading towards turn 5. Annoyingly here, Dave Tweets fighting with Ben Myatt. Oh, Ben Myatt's into the wall. Luckily, we're not really going to lose any time here. Alfie Bevan sets a fastest lap of the race. That's ominous. Didn't quite get into the session in time to set a quali lap. It's 9 seconds back from us. Like, do you mind? Oh, thanks. Just, thanks. For goodness sakes. It's like, you know, let me through. I'm quicker. I'm the quicker class car. You know, give me some space to get through. And it's like, oh no, I'm just going to leave you boxed in because I'm going to be a twat for no reason. I'm going to fix the damage. Oh, you twat. awkward timing. Yeah, they just have more grip in the high speed because of the damage I have. Far enough for lifting out of it. Probably get back past here with the slipstream. Not quite able to. So we're going to be by 20 seconds off the lead. Yeah, maybe we could have been 25 seconds up the road. We would have been getting into MX5 traffic again, I think, as we came up to our pit stop. You know, if the MX5s didn't decide to box us in. A little over 30 minutes into the race now. We're probably 4 laps from making our pit stop. Where's this MX5 gonna put themselves? Our pace isn't too bad with the damage. It's hard to say how much it's costing us exactly. I mean, no idea how long it's going to take to repair, if it's going to take much longer than tires or not. Two laps till we pit. Gained a second on Tom in front that lap. that MX5 really wants the left-hand side, which is fair enough. It's the inside for this left-hander. A little bit deep into the hairpin there. Right, so pitting at the end of this lap, I've closed the gap down to 19 seconds. And if Pavot and Alfie fight a bit, who knows? Maybe that can help us close in. But again, we don't know how much this damage repair is going to cost us. It's an MX5 not sticking to its racing line. That cost us about half a second. I mean, it was sort of awkward timing. It felt a little too late to go for a move to the inside, so I was like, yeah, I'll go outside. Then they kind of just left themselves awkwardly and, you know, maybe going for a late apex, you could argue. But, yeah, it definitely wasn't ideal for us, at least. Leaders are about to hit traffic as well. One of the pit lanes we actually have to slow down for. Oh, the repair time's long. Oh, it looks like it's gonna be like twice as long. More than twice as long. I think that's Ben that followed us in and nearly got us on the exit. Well, anyway, new tires, but a full tank of fuel. To compensate a little bit. Track is rubbering in though. Yeah, so we're now a minute off the lead. So just under 50 minutes left in the race. Plus 1 lap, of course. A little more than half of the race to go. And it looks like Alfie is fighting for the lead as the leaders enter the final sector. Nearly have the grip to do the S's flat out. Had to scrub the tyres a little bit there to do that. Thank you so much, Alex Wood. Just making that easy for the both of us. Alfie is through and into the lead of the race. Into the second half of the race now. Too early on the throttle there. that's it. Car off. Jacobs into the pits. Sliding the rear a little too much there. We will get out in front as we send a personal best lap. Peugeot has made their pit stop. We're still over 30 seconds behind. Well, yep. Ashel making it awkward for both of us there. Yeah, that just shows, you know, a little bit of working together. You know, can be beneficial. You know, it's not you versus the other class that's racing. You want to work together to lose as little time as possible on both ends. So we're still waiting for Tom and Alfie to pit. Into the 51s. That puts us 3 seconds quicker than Tom last lap. Bit of sliding rear end there, trying to put the power down out of turn 2. Sending it around the outside of the MX5. Tom's into the pits. He's out of the pits. Another fastest lap of the race set for Alfie. The gap is about 11 seconds. I would say we need more than half a second a lap. Hard to say if Tom put new tyres on or not, or if he just fueled up to the finish. You know, so hard to know if, you know, Tom is maybe going to struggle with old tyres and heavier fuel, or if he's got nice new fresh tyres on, so going to have a bit more grip than what he had at the end of last stint. Alfie into the pits now as well from the lead. I expect him to hold on to the lead. Gap's coming down to Tom quite quickly, less than 10 seconds. Now Alfie's already out of the pits and has more than a 10-second lead over Pavot. Got a lapped Formula Mazda between us and Tom. Yeah, we're 40. Well, wait till we get out of turn 1. "41 seconds off the lead now. Big slide for the car in front of us there. Just held us up a little bit. We had to, you know, be patient on the throttle just in case they span back across the track. So let's see, Tom's pace not too bad last lap. We gained 6/10. If we keep that, pace difference up, it's going to be close at the end of the race. But hopefully we've got a little bit more pace to show. Chance here to take fastest lap of the race. Oh, it's a little late turning into the right-hander there. Just put us slightly wide and scrubbed the tyres a little bit more, cost us a little bit of speed and time. Not the quickest through the hairpin as well. Looks like this is just going to be a personal best rather than a fastest lap of the race. In fact, there's still too much time in the final sector. Won't be a personal best, but will be 1.4 seconds quicker than Tom in front. Gap down to 7.5 seconds now. Understeer there. Nice thing about this track is the tire wear isn't too wild. It's fairly similar across the, there is some big differences between front or rear, left and right. So it's not like, oh, the car gets really understeery or gets really oversteery towards the end of a stint. It's still relatively nice. 29 minutes left in the race. Another 1.3 seconds taken out of Tom that lap. So yeah, this rate will catch him easy. I don't think Tom did change tyres. MX5 making it very clear which side they want to be on. Appreciate it, Stevie. A little bit deep into that left-hander. Didn't lose too much time there through the S's. Lifted early. to just help set up that tighter line on the exit, get to the inside of the MX5, and still carry momentum to make the move as easy as possible. I think we have been closing the gap to Peugeot a little bit. Gap's down to 29 seconds, was 33. So we have closed in 4 seconds since Peugeot pitted. Went a little bit deep into turn 2. That wasn't a very good line. Yeah, it was just sort of compromised on the entry there, and just misjudged the speed and how to approach the corner from that tight angle. Not the MX5's fault, that's all my fault. Let's put the gap back up at 6.5 seconds. After Tom putting a personal best lap last lap, we only gained 9/10. But even with that mistake, that should be enough time. If it was 9/10 every lap between next lap and the end of the race, that should be enough. More than enough. Peugeot's picked up the pace, setting a new personal best. Wonder if we're going to see fight for fastest lap. I wasn't sure how much space that MX5 was going to give me. Had to take that compromised line. Despite the little mistake we made last lap, still gained 0.04 of a second on Tom last lap, which is remarkable. He's in a bit of traffic too. .24 minutes left in the race, plus 1 lap, of course. Normally, this race, in any other round, the race would be done already. But tonight, we're still going, and we still have quite a few laps to go. I'm pretty sure that MX5 lifted so they could slot in behind us. Again, another good showcase of, just the MX5 working together and we both lose as little time as possible. Hopefully we can get this MX5 into T1. Hopefully a bit of slipstream will help. Yeah, we will get the move done. And key point about multi-class racing there, even though we were clear of the MX5 in the braking zone, we didn't pull over in front of them. We left them the space, left them the clean air to break into, rather than, you know, taking the air away from them. It wouldn't have been too bad in the MX5 since it's not a downforce car, but, you know, if that had been a downforce car, if we moved in front of it, you know, take the drag, take the downforce off, and then they just don't get the car stopped. But it's nice, respectful, you know, as you don't know, maybe sometimes the slower class can be better on the brakes than the faster class, and have shorter braking zones, in which case, you know, they want to use that space. You know, so when things are that close entering the braking zone, just leave them the space. Try and get slipstream of Andy Harney. He's going to pick the right-hand side. Thought he was going to stay to the left there for a moment, but he changed his mind, made it clear. And, yep, we worked around that. I said the clap, we were closing in the gap to Pivot. I don't know, maybe he was listening into the stream, because he put 2 personal best laps in a row and he's been opening it up. Perhaps maybe when we were closing in, it was him that was getting disrupted by traffic, and now it's us getting disrupted. The gap has opened up once more. 1.5 seconds gained to Tom that lap. We can see him just in front of us. Gap just over 3 seconds. Tom, new personal best lap of the race. So maybe the tires aren't dropping off that much anymore. We know they kind of hit a point where it's like, yeah, and they don't get any worse from then on. And now, you know, with the fuel burning off, with the track evolving and rubbering in, you know, he's finding more pace. Understeer there. But it's good that Tom's finding a little bit of pace. I think we'll still be able to catch him, but it'll make passing him a little bit more difficult. Make this a little bit more of an interesting battle, which I am all for. Bit deep into the final corner. Still going to be a personal best here. So does Tom. 7/10 quicker. Both of us saying personal bests. Tom gets through on Ben Mine in the MX5. No time lost. I'm not sure what line Ben was taking there. Certainly a confusing line, and it has cost us a bit of time. Curb just causing the rear end to snap out there, and then understeer really kicking in through the second half of the S's there. Seems like the rears are starting to wear a little bit more than the fronts. Chris getting a little bit understeery. Look how much quicker that final corner was than our previous lap. Tom saying another personal best and opening up a little over 3/10 on us that lap. But that mainly came down to traffic. Don't know if Tom got held up a little bit there by the MX5. We might be able to make a move. Does cost us a little bit of time with that compromised line into the left-hander. Not as bad as passing Ben last lap though. Might be able to get another personal best here. Pavot sets a new fastest lap of the race. Oh, that's very messy. I think I slightly locked the front tire going in, and then the rear just slid the whole way around as it's a bit wide. Tom, another personal best. He's really on a roll. We do gain nearly 2/10 on him. That's not enough. We need more. Traffic up ahead, and not in the form of MX5s. But we're coming up to lap. Other Formula Mazdas. Oh, the rear end, no grip there. Yeah, the car. I do take back what I said earlier about the car being nice and balanced. You know, the tires wearing evenly and being nice and balanced. They haven't. We just didn't run long enough in the first stint, and we had the damage. That made it seem like it wasn't too bad. MX5 lets us through before the corner. Greatly appreciated it with how far off the racing line they were. Jacob, personal best, is going quick, though he's a little too far back to really do anything, unfortunately for him. Find myself run unnecessarily wide there. Fight over P6 too within our class that we're coming up to lap. That mistake we made at turn 4 when lapping one of the MX5s, it's come to bite us a little bit more now. Gained 7/10 on Tom last night. Last lap. That's a little more like it. But that was from him being a bit slower, potentially from the traffic. A little bit wide of the apex. Just as I'm turning in for the corner, the rear's sliding out. Tom has got through the lapped traffic. I think he lost a little bit of time on the entry to the hairpin there, but not too much. Oh, big wiggle there for Tom on the exit of the hairpin. Car running wide there, and thankfully letting us through. Gained 6.5 tenths that lap. Lovely slipstream towards T1. Gap just over a second to Tom in front of us. Bit of understeer there while also trying to manage the rear end sliding. Tom's opened up the gap so far this lap. That's on pace alone. A little bit concerning for us. I believe it's 6 laps to go now. Our last lap time is actually very similar, but Tom was nearly a 10th quicker. Just noticed Pavot's coming back at Alfie. Maybe Pivot took new tyres and Alfie didn't. And that's allowed Pivot to chase Alfie down. Looks like we're going to have a couple of good fights here at the end of the final round. More traffic up ahead for MX5s. Two of them are fighting one another for 14th place. We're really kicking out there on the entry to the hairpin. Looks like Tom's going to get held up a bit here. We're within slipstream now. This battle is on, but we still got a couple of MX5s coming up. Oh, it's a little bit more compromised than Tom was there. Making sure I didn't go into the back of him, but also trying to get through that MX5 who was, you know, also put in an awkward, difficult position. Tom ran a little bit wide there out of the hairpin. Lead fight is under a second as well. Come on. I'm not lifting there because if I lift there, I might as well give up P3. Pavot set a new fastest lap of the race last lap in his attempt to catch Alfie. Oh, Tom, not a great line through turn 4 there. Oh, he's not going to defend the inside for the hairpin. We've just got in front, but if he can stay close enough, he'll have the slipstream before the final corner. Oh, I struggled for traction there. Let's see Tom in the slipstream. Can he close up? No. Still got a few MX5s to get through this race. So it's not over yet. We're a little bit wide there. You can see Tom closes up. Tom has a better run through the S's. Question is, can he make a move? An MX5 between us. Tom a little bit compromised through the apex. Gives us a little bit of a gap. Bit of a per final corner though. Tom is right on the edge of slipstream. If we can break the slipstream, I think we could get away. But if he's in the slipstream, he's going to keep up for sure. Apex in there somewhere, MX5. Please take it. I've ran a little bit wide there. Time has ran out, so this is the penultimate lap of the race. Two more MX5s to make our way around. Ran a little bit wide there. Wasn't too bad. Tom has been compromised as much as we were, if not a little bit more. And we now go on to the final lap of the race. James Pavot still trying to chase down Alfie at the front of the field. Doesn't look like he's going to quite be able to do it. There's no traffic for either this battle for third that we're in or the battle for the lead in front of us. Oh, a bit of understeer, very poor run through the S's there, and Tom closes up. He's going to try and find a cutback at the hairpin, but isn't able to pull it off. He'll have the slipstream towards penultimate corners. Alfie takes the win. This will come down to the final corner. Oh, Tom has got a better exit. It's going to be a drag race to the line, but we'll just about hold on to it. Oh, that's a good fight. That was a good fight. Tom didn't make that easy, but yeah, that was a fun one. That was fun indeed. I enjoyed that recovery drive. Bit of space here. Some donuts to end the season off. Oh, that was fun. I'm not too annoyed about that instant now with the MX5. I mean, it's annoying in the moment, for sure, but the fact we had a fun end to the race, okay, I'm not too annoyed. Tom sent me a message saying, GF&G, that was mega. It was very fun. So yeah, that's it. That's another series done and gone. It's a fun one. I mean, yeah, the MX5, Formula Mazdas, they were kind of fun. Not the most interesting car, but they were fun enough. I enjoyed them, and yeah, what a great way to end the season there. I mean, 63 thousandths of a second separating me and Tom at the end there. Good battle, that's a good way to end off. Even if, you know, how that battle came to be, you know, was far from ideal. Yeah, that's good fun. Track grip didn't quite get all the way to 100% in the end, only 99%. I must admit, it was set a little slower than it should have been for this race. But yeah, good fun indeed. So yeah, with that, that's going to be the end of this series. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. It's an interesting week. Tomorrow we have two very interesting races. Not on Assetto Corsa here, but on Le Mans Ultimate. Of course, the new update, version 1.3, released today. The final ELMS pack with the final LMP3 car. And Barcelona. Barcelona is mega in the unrestricted LMP2 cars. It's a load of fun. And yeah, we'll be doing a 30-minute race around Barcelona tomorrow. And then, after that, we have another little special race. Of course, this update also brings the other additional layouts to Paul Ricard and Silverstone. More, you could say most notably, Silverstone National, very short circuit. So, the talk in the SROL Discord. How about we do some chaotic races, or chaotic race with like all the classes at Silverstone National. So tomorrow we have a race with hypercars, the unrestricted LMP2s, which around Silverstone National are actually a little bit quicker than the hypercars, LMP3s, GTEs, and GT3s. Not to mention, at probably about 2/3 of the way into the race, so about 20 minutes into the 30-minute race, there's going to be a sudden storm. The track's going to go from nice, clear, sunny weather to storm and rain. How interesting. We'll be trying out the new Genesis hypercar that got slightly leaked yesterday. Well done, streamer. Whoever that was. Don't know who leaked it, but well done. I mean, it was being heavily rumoured anyway. But yeah, nice little update that we weren't expecting. Or addition, I should say, that we weren't expecting with this update. We were going to get at some point this year. I think that's fair to say, but this soon? No, not expecting that. So, yeah, looking forward to giving those two a go. Should be some good fun racing, hopefully. Fun lapping Barcelona and against the how it races. The LMP2s, LMP3s, and GT3s, the 3 ELMS classes, I should say, for that race. Silverstone National, 5 classes. Technically, all 5 classes in the game. If you say, count LMP2 as just one class rather than 2 separate classes. Yeah, looking forward to those races. Hopefully, can have a couple of good races. But yeah, that's good. Thank you, Eddie, for being around watching. Hope you enjoyed that race. Thank you, Gigi, too, for popping in earlier, and hopefully you enjoyed that race if you lurked throughout. Of course, thank you to anyone else that was lurking as well, and or has watched the VOD back. Hope you all enjoyed. I said I'll be back tomorrow. But until then, have a good evening. Have a good Wednesday until we start tomorrow. And yeah, till then, take care. Bye bye.